coming in, setting appointments for their clients. Well, I will tell you, we're totally great with that. You bring us customers, we love you guys. Our typical commission is 3%, but right now it's because we're using money to buy down rates for our clients. So when we don't have to do that, we try and bring our commission up. But the main thing I want you guys to know is if you guys have clients that want to come out to any of our communities, we have 6 communities. One is in process of opening. If you call our online sales, and as long as you register with us, let us know your name and your client's name to set that appointment. We'll make notes and say, hey, this is their realtor. They do have a realtor. You're good, and then you guys can go ahead and take other clients. I know you guys are busy. You have a lot of customers, so we work with our realtors to say you're safe leaving your clients with us. We're not going to take you out of the loop, and we'll make sure you're registered with your clients. Century has been around for quite a while. It's a smaller based company, but we're all across the United States. We are the top 10 in one of the top 10 builders in the nation, and we are the top. I'm so sorry. We're number 3 in customer service in the nation, and Austin is number 1 for customer service in the nation. So Austin being any of our Austin divisions. So we have a community in Gerald, we have Cedar or Round Rock, we have South Austin, we've got Buda, we have Elgin, and then we have one coming up in San Marcos. So I just want to let you guys know that we build great homes, we have great warranty, and we really appreciate you guys bringing all your customers to us and working with us to make some sales. So that's it. Thank you guys.
All right, I got the whole glass old person situation going on here. So good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's all good. So I got to tell you Adventures of Dallas Dog and me in the mornings. We have a Bugs Bunny, Wile E. Coyote situation happening. And if there's a game camera out on County Road 3705, crazy woman is on it. Because this rabbit, I'm telling you, where Ashley's purse is, that's where that rabbit was. My dog is here, lunging towards this rabbit. I am kicking rocks at this dumb rabbit. It will not budge, will not budge. And not only was there one, there were 2 rabbits this morning. So, crazy woman throwing rocks. If I let the dog go, he's gone. Like, he's gone. But anyway, that was my morning this morning. But we got our walk in after 10 minutes of fighting rabbits. So, all right, so last week for listings, we had Katie, Vanessa, and Andrew all had listings. Got keys, Shuba, Ashley, Kim, Andrew, and Catherine all had closings last week. I like the clapping. You guys haven't been clapping. Now we're clapping. All right, lease listings. We had Emma and Kevin all had lease listings last week. And for lease keys, we had Bianca, which was on the other side of Kevin Dickey, by the way. Nancy, Kevin, Vanessa, and Terry all had lease key closings last week. All right. Who wants to spin the wheel? Lane. Very good. First steps, Erica, come on down. Have you done this before? Spin the wheel? Yeah. Beneath all this quietness, she's a wild woman. We went to happy hour with her the other day. Couldn't contain her. Just kidding. She's super sweet. She's like, wait, Michelle, you're up. Oh, 7's popular today. Good. So we got the most of Cammy Keenan, Brenda Young, Kevin Krazan, Bianca. Bianca's not here. Vanessa is though. Come on down. welcome. Thank you. And Laura, Tatiana, Andrew, Medina, Shuba, Ashley White, the one and only. She's here today. Not online. Just because you do things.
Every time you see your picture,
Yeah,
does. You don't
usually
hear it?
Bianca plays.
Thank you guys. Kim Shelton, Andrew Costancio, Catherine Lipkoff. Two. Just take the last one. There you go. That's gonna be $100,000 winner. Emma Shabazian.
You got it.
Sorry, Emma, if you're online. Kevin Dickey, Nancy Demas, Demas? I think, yes, Demas. Terry Richard, you're here. Glad to see you here. Uh-oh, do it again. We're out of twos. Oh, I know it's gonna happen. That's why. Murphy's Law.
Oh my God.
I look forward to always tell those people, don't spin it the same way.
Get the upside down.
Thank you.
And last but not least, our very own Katie Bright. Come on.
Yeah. Heard that.
You do. All right. Next, Andrea.
All right.
Clap, everybody.
Ready? You're on point.
All right, announcements this week. We have Maria Castro as Agent of the Week. I know all of you have done her. We've been out there hustling. She is out there hustling still. So if you see her, let her know that we see her. Okay. And our next in-person sales meeting. So we have March 5th, March 19th, and April 2nd. Dang, we're already into April. Scary. Next one. We've got our for sale by owner calling this afternoon, or actually today, this morning after the sales meeting. In between for sale by owner calling, we are going to be doing a workshop. Hank is actually going to run the workshop for expired and withdrawal calling. So if y'all want to workshop that and role play, then hang out after the meeting, and Hank is going to be running that. And then Friday is going to be the expired and withdrawals. So if you want to call numbers, just text me and I will send you a list. Make sure when you text me, don't just say, hey, I want a list. Send me the zip code that you want. Otherwise, I'm going to just assume you want around the office. So, cool. All right. And focus. Back to Jerry.
All right. So how many of you have done a tenant lease or a lease in general and filled out the details page? So I'm here to tell you that was a waste of time. Sorry. We've had a bunch of people come in my office and I see all the details page filled out. And they're like, man, that took me like, some time. So we're going to talk about that today. For a lease, you close your room pending. Okay. Like for a buyer sale or a listing sale, you do have to fill out the details page, and you close it property sold, which will tell you everything that's wrong on the details page. But for leases, we just close it pending, and you do not have to do the details page. Okay.
Is that the lease listing too?
Yes. Yes. All leases, you don't have to do the details page. Okay. So that should save some of you some time on the leases. Okay. But I got a question. What two things do we have to have filled out, signed by the landlord and the tenant for a lease listing?
The flood zone thing.
Okay.
Flood addendum?
Yep.
What else? Flood addendum. What else? No, we do have to have that. Hank?
Landlord tenant selection criteria.
Yes. Thank you, guys. They've heard me well, not complain. They've heard me
Hear it all day.
have to call people up and say, hey, I can't process your room because I don't have the landlord selection criteria and I don't have the flood addendum. Now, I know the flood addendum is not in red. We probably need to see if we can update that or anyway, but it is a TREC rule that you have to have the flood addendum. The landlord selection criteria is to protect you. Okay, I'm getting a bunch in that have nothing and signed by the landlord and the tenant, which shocks me. People are just signing things that didn't even look. Okay, so those things have to be filled out, and leases always close pending. That way it'll bypass the details page. Cool, that's it.
All right. Now you guys can like Jerry's saying.
All right, so our Tip Tuesday today is all dreams are within reach. All you have to do is keep moving towards them. We talk constantly about not being static, but keep moving forward. You've got to have that goal in mind in order to actually get there. So last year we talked all about getting your goals set for this year. How many of y'all have done that? Raise a hand. Come on, let's go. Yeah. Louise, come on. No, yes. Take it on you. So make sure if you've not put your goal on paper, get with me. Let's figure out what your goal is, and then let's figure out the pathway to get to that goal. All right. So that is my Tip Tuesday. This week's challenge is get into the mindset of 12 touch points. So there are a bunch of different ideas for virtual touch points, but how many times do you need to actually have a interaction with somebody before there is actual trust built up? 17, I'm hearing.
I think the current one is 9, right?
Minimum of 8. So we're going to shoot for 12. Okay, just go a little bit above. So if you're thinking, okay, I've sent out postcards and they didn't work. Well, that was one touch point out of 12. So you need to have a plan in place in order to be reaching out, have those communications, be talking to people in order to get those actual quantifiable and valuable conversations going to where it'll actually get to the closing table. So check out this slide in detail whenever the recap comes out, but there's a bunch of different ideas for your social media and how you can start engagement there and then bring that engagement to real life instead of just on social media. Okay, cool. More ideas about social media are market bloom report. So post a short video update about how the real estate market is flourishing with the new season. And then open house invitations. So I've seen a lot of great videos on inviting folks to your open houses. I love those videos. Keep those up. Those of y'all that are not doing those videos, I'd like to see more of them. Okay. Cool. And now,
Good sports fans. All right. If anybody knows the definition of oblivious, if you can let me know after, because I have no idea. No? All right. Well, before I realized we had breakfast, I ordered chicken and eggs. So when they get here, I'll let you know which one comes first. They don't get any better than that, folks. All right, success. Hey, Ashley had some great, this Ashley had some great success with some open houses. She did an open house this weekend. You had
I had 8 guests.
8 guests. Only 2 were represented.
Nice.
Right? And so she's actually reached out. And how did you reach out?
I did a video text, like of my face.
Oh.
And everybody replied back, and normally nobody replies.
Right? Great idea. Great idea. Okay, who else had success this weekend or this week? Nobody?
I had a
successful.
Yay!
Yeah, I mean, nothing hugely successful out of it, but I hosted an open house at 11 a.m. on Saturday thinking I'm just appeasing my seller because only wanted 11 a.m. I'm like, nobody's gonna come. You know, I'm just gonna be sitting there, and 3 unrepresented groups came through.
Nice.
So all the thought realtors looking to downsize into a 3,500 square foot house. So that's available to hold open this weekend too, guys.
There we go.
I had a good time. So yeah.
All right. I noticed we had, I think, 8 availabilities for open houses and only 3 of them were taken. All right. We tell you, hey, open houses work, right? Open houses work. If you're worried because you don't have business, we're giving you the tools, folks. Let's use them. Okay. All right. Back to you.
Oh, no. Are you doing good reviews? Yeah, I'm sorry. It's okay.
Bianca Holt has gotten another great Google review. So long lane, good job, Bianca. Yes, there she is. So Google reviews do work. If you need help getting Google reviews, I think I had one agent reach out to me this weekend to ask me how to get a Google review, and was able to send her the link to be able to send to her clients. So make sure to reach out if you have any questions.
She's our one and only. She's our one and only. I'm gonna go, Bianca. Michelle, come on down.
Okay, so apparently some of us don't know how to do this section, and it really should be pretty straightforward. First, you need to ask your client what they're going to use as a down payment. So that's a pretty important question to ask and to know the answer to, because you're going to need that for this. So this first line right here is the cash portion of sales. So that is going to be where you put their down payment. How much are they going to give to the lender, right? At closing. Now, there's a little thing that says the term cash portion of the sales price does not include proceeds from borrowing. I don't remember what the rest of it says, except for anything as disclosed. So if they have to sell another property in order to use that as cash for their down payment, you have to have the addendum for that.
For sale of another property.
Yeah, for sale of another property. Sorry, my brain just went blank. So for sale of another property, you have to have that addendum in there. You can't just assume that the house is going to close, even if it's one day away from closing. You don't want to put your buyer in a bad position. So make sure that they understand what cash portion means. It really means that that's what they have on hand or that they can take out of investments fairly quickly.
So do you still put the cash portion on there if there is the sale of a home?
Yes, you do have to put that. You would put the cash portion, even there is another sale, but that's where on the, I think it's page 8 or 9, there's all the check boxes. You would have to make sure you click that one, the addendum for sale of another property. And then this one is sum of all financing described in the attached third-party financing, loan assumption, seller financing addendum. This one you rarely use. Rarely.
By this one, you mean seller financing.
Yes, seller financing addendum, yes. Understand that that is not something that you click unless you absolutely know that, one, the loan can be assumed. Sorry, not assumed, sorry. That the seller is actually going to pay for this. I would not just send over an offer saying seller financing until you have, I know, Joan is crazy, right? How many of you are listing agents and have had somebody send over with the seller financing addendum checked without asking you? It happens all the time. As a listing agent, you need to make sure that that's not checked if your client is not going to do that. it's a crazy world right now. It is a crazy world. People are throwing things at you that just to see what'll stick. And then also the loan assumption addendum. Again, this one is rare. You have to make sure that there is an assumable mortgage. I would want proof before you go through all of, because it's a hassle. There's a lot of paperwork involved in this one. You're going to want to know that the loan is actually assumable. I just went through one where the agent had no idea. She couldn't tell me numbers. She couldn't tell me this. She couldn't tell me that. And I was like, I looked at my clients. I was like, it's a conventional loan. I'm not sure how it's assumable. The lender won't speak to me. So I'm not so sure. Anybody assuming a conventional mortgage? Doesn't usually happen. I think there's a couple, like 2 instances. I think it's death, maybe. Does anybody know what the second one is? Is it divorce? In some cases of divorce, there are 2 instances where you could have an assumable conventional mortgage, but it's, yeah. Huh?
I've never had a conventional assumable ever go through ever in my 20 years, and divorce is definitely not one we have to refinance.
Okay. All right. The one that I was doing was due to divorce, and I was like, it's conventional. I'm pretty sure that it's a no, but, and then we're going to talk about the third party financing. Okay. Are you guys ready for it? You're going to have to do some math. Actually, the whole program will do the math for you. You're going to take how much, oh wait, go back. Yeah, not yet.
Sorry.
Right here.
Boss said too.
Price is the sum of A and B. Okay. So this is how much you want to pay for the house. This is how much you're putting down. This is how much is being financed. Okay. Trick question. What happens if it's a cash deal? What goes here?
The whole amount.
The whole amount. What goes here?
The whole amount.
What goes here?
0.
0. Okay, just making sure because we are getting those in the wrong order.
It's the ones we like. We know how to do
Yes. What's that?
We know the answer.
Yeah, and don't check any boxes. Okay, now we can go on to the third party financing. All right, so the first one is conventional. Generally, you're just going to have a first mortgage. Sometimes they will have a second mortgage, but that's something that you need to talk to their lender about. That's usually if they don't have the cash for and they do like an 80-20 or an 85-15, where they finance 85 under one loan and 15% in another loan. But again, you just need to talk to the lender and make sure you have those numbers correct. So the first mortgage loan and the principal amount of blank. Does anybody know what goes in there?
What we're borrowing.
What number goes in there? Is it what they're asking for or the loan amount?
Loan amount.
Loan amount. Good. Loan amount goes in there. And then due in full. So you need to know that. It's generally 30 years. With interest not to exceed blank percent. Okay. Some of you get your loan approval and it says they've been approved for 7%. And you're like, I want my offer to look better, so I'm going to make that 8.5%. What have you just done to your buyer?
Bumped it up.
You've bumped it up and you've put them in a bad position, because what if it actually comes back at 8.5% and they can't afford it?
Yeah.
Do not do that. I'm telling you, there are agents who are doing that. So take the number that the lender gives you. If there's no number on their pre-approval, call them. It's easy. Just call them. They will talk to you. And if they won't talk to you, have your client call them and tell them to talk to you. Or change lenders.
I was gonna say, they someone good that will take your call.
Yeah. And then also for the first blank years, so those numbers should be the same, 30, 15, 20. Okay, and then this number right here, not the percentage, the origination charge, what do we normally put in there? 1%. 1%. Again, your client can decide if it comes back at more than 1%, they can decide to continue on with the contract. But if it comes in at, because there are lenders that come back at 1.5%, 2%, and that could blow the deal for them. You want to protect your buyers. All right, and then the same thing with the second mortgage. So I'm not going to go over that one. The FHA. Does anybody know what goes in here?
Usually like 403.
203. Well, normally 98% of the time it's 203B. Occasionally it'll be 203K, which is if they're also financing the repairs and maybe like a remodel or something. But those are, again, very, very rare. So what goes in here? 203B. Okay. And then the rest of it is pretty much the same, right? Okay. VA, guaranteed loan of not less than, same thing. How much you're actually financing, the years, the percent, origination charges, yeah, same thing, percent. Just make sure that you know what goes in these blanks. Hey, if you don't know, what can you do? Just ask somebody, call somebody. You can call Andrea, you can call Hank, you can call Jerry, you can call me, you can call Deanna, anybody will help you with that. But don't shortchange your buyers. Don't put your buyers in a bad position by changing this percent right here. Okay, protect them. All right, and then the last one. Okay, do we know what goes in here? This is the appraised value. What do we want our appraised value to be? Do we want it to be the loan amount? Or do we want it to be the sales price?
Sales price.
Sales price goes in there, guys. Sales price, not loan amount. Okay. Again, protect your buyer. And I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Yay! Oh no, Terry's coming up.
Terry's here.
Yeah, she's here.
Hey, girl, hey.
Oh, Michelle, I thought you were going to come do this with me. Okay. We got to spread the love. Right?
Wait, there's drinks, margaritas?
So you guys, we appreciate everybody sending in those referrals. We had the contest from February 16th to February 14th. So it was anybody with a qualified buyer or seller referrals. You got entered into a $500 drawing. So there we go. Ed Marie, Edward, Emily, Warren. And then there was some more.
Way to go.
Woo! Ashley, Jessica, and Janessa and Megan. And so all those people were entered into a drawing, and then they were getting ready to do the drawing, right?
And the winner
Ready?
is
Right?
spinning wheel. There was a spinning wheel that we can't get to.
Oh, no. Okay. And the winner is from Williamson County. Emmer. Go. Do you have this $500 there? No. Oh, Judy. Okay. Congratulations, Edward.
We can make a big check. You want to?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you do? Give them a big check.
Thank you all.
Come on over.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
For y'all that don't know me, I'm Ben Goodwin. I'm kind of the liaison between our partnership with our mortgage company and JB Goodwin. The whole reason we have partnerships with the Boston Title, Goosehead, used to be Premier, is that so you can, if worst case scenario, you get in trouble with something that's going on in your current deal, you can walk down to someone that you know and get them to get you out of the jam. Premier wasn't cutting it. We had people that could help you, but they couldn't help you get the deal done because the interest rates were through the roof, right? It just wasn't working. We've moved on to a new company, Premise. So the big thing, which y'all need to ask a bunch of questions, this is our regional manager, Kristen, and y'all know Matt, they're a bank. They're an actual bank. It's not a mortgage company that is going to take your mortgage and then sell it to Bank of America, and then they're going to sell it to another bank. And by the time your buyer finishes, they've had 3 different banks. Okay. So, Primus Mortgage, here we go.
Good morning, everybody. I'm going to bring you on next. We've got some exciting things to talk about, but thank you, Ben. So Primus Mortgage, yes, we are a bank. We do operate like an independent mortgage banker. So we've got a whole array of products. Gosh, we have a PowerPoint this week, so this is really cool. Yes, so we are a nationwide lender. If you guys have pre-approved buyers or want to get them pre-approved with us and then refer them out, you can refer out all across the country, and Matt or myself or any of the other loan officers that are here can help get those pre-approved. I hate using PowerPoints, right? They're just, they throw me off. We have some exciting things that we want to offer to you guys as the new lender and really roll this out and get some momentum going. I don't know about you guys. In my originations, I've seen when the rates dipped about a month ago, we saw some really good activity. Well, the rates are kind of on the upswing again, and we're seeing buyers pull back and getting a little more reserved. So how do we get your buyers off the fence? We have 3 promotions just for JB Goodwin. This is going to end or run through the end of March. We ran these promotions a few months ago and they were wildly successful. We have marketing material that we'll get you guys afterwards. The first one is a free float down. So if your buyer is locked in and the rate improves by an eighth to the rate, we will float them down for free. This is a huge savings. Generally, that would cost them a half a point to a full point in order to float down. We're also allowing a TBD lock and shop. So if you have buyers right now who are concerned or they've heard the news out there that in March, the feds might raise rates instead of lower rates. I don't know how many of you guys read that. It's true. So we'll allow you to lock in the loan today or any day through the end of March. And then that's a 60-day lock. Go out, get them under contract. They do have to close within that 60 days or there are extension fees. The third thing is we will do a lender credit for the appraisal. Free appraisals, basically. The borrower does need to pay for it, and then we'll do a lender credit on the CD. And this is all going to go through the end of March just for JB Goodwin. Any questions? You think that's going to get anybody off the fence?
I think the rate lock is pretty cool.
Free appraisal? Come on.
Yeah.
A couple other things that Primus does that's a little different from everyone else. We do soft credit checks only. We pull all 3 bureaus on soft credit checks. So many other lenders are doing that, but what they're not doing is running the automated underwriting. So we can run Fannie and Freddie through for conventional VA, any kind of loan. We can do a full pre-approval on a soft credit check. Okay, so for your buyers that don't want their credit pulled, this is a great option. The other thing is we never charge our VA buyers any lender fees ever. That's a $14.95 savings. We have a lot to offer you guys. Oh, I'm standing in front of the products. This is some of the products. Matt, do you want to talk about any of the products?
I mean, we can, but it's kind of boring. Or is it just me?
We can do it, right? The answer is yes.
The answer is yes, we can, but we don't need to go through all of this. If you need a loan, we have the solution. Whether it's these, which is the QM, qualified mortgages, or even a lot of non-QM, like bank statement loans, like ITIN loans, or whatever your client needs. But if obviously for all of these are the QM, so that's the standard, the conventional, all the government loans, of course, manufactured homes, and we have here some of these non-QMs like the bank statement loans and so forth. You can see what they are. I mean, literally have every single type of loan that you could need. We have it. And I think to Kristen's point on getting those buyers that are on the fence to like come over to become buyers now is the bounce back. So that's not just JB Goodwin, that's just anyone. The other ones you mentioned are just for JBG, but if you use premise for your lender and you come back and refinance later, we waive our lender fees.
And pay up to $725 at the appraisal on that refinance.
So if you think about this, you have a buyer that's on the fence, like whatever they need, we got you on loan products. And it comes to rate, y'all are great realtors. And so we can mitigate that with the rate buy down, whether temporary or permanent. And then in the back of your mind, you always know if the market improves, we're going to stay in touch and get you into a new rate and not charge them anything from our end. And if it's the same title company, that's a really low cost refinance. And so it's like, why not buy now?
I bet that's what they're all saying to their clients.
Yeah.
Why not buy now, right?
But with specific information on whatever they need, like this here, for example, condos. Who's ever done a condo loan before? Are they easy? No, they're really hard. And we offer standard condos, but even non-warrantable. I don't know if you all know what that is or not. No, a few faces seem confused, but that's a long story, but just a very brief condensed answer on that is it isn't on the pre-approved list by HUD. And so HUD basically takes condos and approves them based upon the profit and loss of that condo, on its condition. Like there's a lot of factors. Just think about it. Your client is buying one unit, but it's part of the greater whole, right? So what if you're buying your unit and you take care of it, but the whole thing is going to pop, right? So as a bank, like we want to make sure that the whole thing is viable and that it's solid. And so there's a whole vetting process if it's conventional to see if they're warrantable. But we even do non-warrantable. So the ones that aren't even on the HUD list. And so not many lenders even touch non-warrantable condos, but we do. So that's just one example. The I-10, I speak Spanish, so any of those buyers, we do those for nationals, manufactured homes. So again, point is, if you have a need, we got you covered.
We have a construction 1 and 2 time close. So if they're going to buy the lot and roll right into construction, we'll do that loan and we'll use the first draw for the payment on the land.
What if they're just buying land?
Not yet, but we're working on that. Yes.
I have a quick question. Can you explain the float down a little bit in more detail? So let me do that. If I have a buyer that locks in a rate with you guys now, closes on their house, but this summer or in the fall, the rates drop.
So that's different.
Okay.
That would be a refinance. So
Yeah.
the float down happens during the time that they're under contract, but before they close.
Okay.
So prior to closing, if the rate drops an eighth or greater, then we'll float them down to that lower rate. They can only float down once before closing. Now we're saying with our bounce back program, once they've made 6 payments to the investor, we will do the free refinance, which is no lender fees and pay for up to $725 of their appraisal. So we're in an election year. We feel like the interest rates are going to drop, later on this year. So we think it's going to be a great opportunity to get in now before all of the bidding wars happen.
Yeah.
And then we'll get you into a lower interest rate later.
Yeah, I just had a question about that. Like speaking of multiple offers, it's real key on that third-party addendum to be able to put 0 days to get buyer financing. So I want to know if you have a program that gets people all the way through underwriting so that I can put on my third-party financing. They're good to go. 0 days.
So we will likely bring that back. We don't have it right now because we weren't in multiple offer situation. So that's something that's on the table. The reason why we took it off the table was there was so many of those happening and only a small percentage of them went through. But right now we can get your buyer approved very, very quickly once they're under contract. So 7 days. We can close very quickly also. Right now, if you can get the appraisal and the title back, as fast as that can happen, we can close. So if you want to try to win a deal, I mean, we can say 21 days is super easy all day long, right? And
That's what everybody's.
so do 14, but make sure we can get the appraisal and the title.
Do you have your in-house appraisers?
They're fast. They're
About a
fast.
week.
We
Do you have in-house appraisers or do you have to go through the?
We go through an AMC, but we've got 6 of them. We've got one in town that's really good to us, and if we say we need it right away, they'll get it right away.
Thank you.
And I noticed that the rush fees are very reasonable, if it has to be like 3 days or something. So really our heart is to support you, to not take anything from you, but to change the dynamic where it's not like you're working and then we just close it, but a true partnership. Where a few of you that I work with, and we talk all the time, like it was cool, like Alicia today was like, oh, I talk to you like every week, but now we're seeing each in person, and even Dana as well. Like people that what we want to do is really support you to build your business. That's our heart, and to bring solutions. So this is just solutions, and that's what we want to bring to you as we serve people together. Like that's really what our heart is.
We've got some bank statement portfolio loans. So a lot of mortgage companies have pulled back on their portfolio. They're not doing them anymore. Our bank statement program, I'll put it up against anybody. It is the best out there. It's 10%, 10% down bank statement loans. Our medical professional is 100% financing. It's expanded beyond just your regular doctors. So even veterinarians qualify for that. Jumbo interest only. And then we talked about 1 and 2 time construction loans. So guys, any scenario, bring it to us. We want to look at it.
Do EMTs and paramedics qualify for medical professional?
No, because they don't, unless they have a doctorate. If they have a doctorate, they would. So somebody that has a doctorate, think about it that way.
I mean, this is
LVNs
amazing.
and all those, what you're talking really about doctors and nurse practitioners.
Mhm. Say it again. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like this can go up to $1 million and it's not jumbo. So like $1 million with 0 down payment, with no PMI. It's just an amazing loan product. Yeah.
So the medical professional loans, that's just that you're overlooking the medical, their education.
So no MI and you're not counting student loan debt against them. That's right.
Because they're students.
Yeah.
Yes, it's massive.
Yes.
So we want solutions.
Yes. Any other questions for us? Anybody have any loans they want us to look at today?
I have a question. I'm gonna send you guys some people.
Great.
Got a couple for you.
So we're trying to figure out who's in the office and what days. Kristen is overseeing a very large part of the country, not even just Texas. Like she's very humble, but I'm just saying it's remarkable when you look at regional is like half the country. That's what regional is.
I've been originating for 20 years though. Don't
Yeah.
hesitate to reach out. We've got a great team. I mean, you better call Matt. You better send him some deals. He's ready.
Yeah. Well, we just want to serve you. Like that's really what our heart is. And so she's gonna hire some more people, and so we'll see how all that shakes out. But I'll be here in the office at least a couple of times a week. I know Eli, the rest manager, is going to be here as well, and so we want you to have some coverage here in the office. But even if we're not here in the office, you can always call us. You can always make an appointment. I mean, so whatever you need, we want to serve you.
Thanks, everybody. Look forward to working with you.
I've got a couple of classes this week I want to tell you about. The first one is tomorrow at the Williamson County Board, which is just right around the corner from y'all. FERPTA. Does anyone know what that stands for? FERPTA. FERPTA. It's the Foreign Investment and Real Estate Tax Act. So that is when you have a foreign seller that's wanting to sell their home. The IRS is involved. There's specific procedures that we have to follow, and we have a gentleman that's coming in tomorrow to the Williamson County Board that would be a great resource for you guys. There are certain particulars that have to be met, in order to sell the home, but it's tomorrow at the Williamson County Board from 10 to 11:30. It's CE, but it's not mandatory. If you don't need CE, please go. It's free. I'll be there. That is tomorrow, and then Thursday. Did y'all get, whoever has our Austin Title Agent One app, did you get your notification from Tom Ferry?
Yeah.
That is going to be huge. That's on Thursday, 11 a.m. Please get your seat reserved because that will go fast. That's going to be nationwide, so that's going to be a big one. And just a little something I just want to throw out there. Tom Ferry, we're owned by Fidelity National Financial. We have an exclusive opportunity with him that we're going to be sharing with all of our realtors. So something that's coming. It's in the works. I don't want to say too much about it, but it's super exciting. Anyway, any questions for me? Any questions for me? Title? All right. Thank you all very much for everything. We surely appreciate all the business.
All right, so Daryl and Tammy are out in the field today, but they just wanted us to remind you of their services. So if you have any questions on this, y'all have seen this slide before many, many times. Reach out to them. And James, come on up.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, hey, just a couple quick things. There are question for you. Do you have to tell your insurance if you say get rear-ended?
No.
No, you don't. Do you have to tell your insurance if you replace your roof?
Yeah. You should.
Why should you?
So that they lower your,
Yeah,
possibly lower your rates.
you got it.
What's the acronym?
Ours, you have replacement cost and you have scheduled roof, which would also mean actual cash value. You have to tell them if the pipe breaks. You have to tell them if the AC stops working. You don't have to report everything to your insurance carrier. My point with that is when we have clients who call us and say, hey, I just had a pipe break. That's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Is everything okay? Great. Hey, have you had a plumber come out and look at it yet? No. Why don't you do that first? Because it might be a $500 fix. It might be a $1,000 fix, but it's less than your deductible to get that fixed. And what is the point in having that extra piece on there? I share that with you because a lot of people feel like you got to report, you got to report, you got to report, you have an obligation. You don't. Okay. Same thing with the roof. Like we said, you don't have to report that you to insurance that you're going to replace your roof. You can just replace your roof. It's your house. You can do what you want. To the point, though, is when you do replace things, there's 4 pieces of the house that if you do a full remodel or full replacement, that you can get credits or discounts on your home. Does anybody know what those 4 things are? One would be the roof. We'll start there. One would be, what's that?
Windows?
Nope. AC. Plumbing, electrical. Yeah. So if you replace all of that stuff in the home or any of those things, and if you do it on your own and don't do it through insurance, report it, right? Let them know, hey, I just replaced my AC stuff. Great. I just replaced my roof. That's a huge discount. I've seen it reduce as much as $2,000 on the roof. Okay. Last thing I wanted to share. I've had a ton of people, tons of people calling, hey, I need to get a quote. I need to get a quote. I need to get a quote. My rate just jumped. My rate just jumped. You probably all experienced that too. Be very careful, especially if you have an older roof that is over 10 years old. If it is over 10 years old, I only know, I'm sure there's going to be somebody who proves me wrong on this. I only know of carriers, and I work with a lot of them, that will do replacement cost on the roof, which means you pay your deductible, the roof gets replaced if it's 10 years or younger. Okay. Everything over that, it's actual cash value, and it gets to the point where it's not even worth filing a claim. Okay. My point with that is roofs aren't cheap. So I've had clients who've either called and said, my rate went up. I need to talk to you. Great. Let's talk about it. You have a replacement cost on that roof. Would you be okay paying $20,000 to replace that roof? No. Then we need to talk more because this is expensive. But let's look at things that we can do that would reduce the cost. We need to talk about things that have happened or transpired over the last couple of years since the last time we were able to get you in here to talk, to see if there were updates done like electrical or whatever that might bring that rate down. Changes that we can make that impact the premium in a positive way without losing any of the integrity of the policy, okay? I had a guy who left. He said, I'm out of here. This is too expensive. I called him up. I said, hey, call me back. This is really important, please. Called him. I said, where you went, I know for a fact you have scheduled roof. What's that mean? You're not covered. Your roof is 20 years old. You are not covered is basically what I'm telling you. Can you get it back? Let me see what I can do. So fortunately, in this case, we were able to get that policy reinstated, and it is much more expensive than where he was at or than where he was going. But it was worth it to him because his roof would be $30,000. So when you're in that shopping mode, there are terms that are used in insurance, like scheduled, that don't make sense. Ask the questions. If you don't know and you're not comfortable, whatever, you don't know your insurance agent very well, give me a call. I'd be happy to just let you know what it means. Okay? Or if any of your clients are looking, have them give me a call and I'd be happy to let them know what it means. Any questions? Amazing. Thank you.
All right, Hank. Hank, come on up.
We're gonna look at some numbers, and I know that we just talked a ton of numbers with premise, but I kind of want to tie in what they're talking about with what's going on in the market, so you have a little bit of knowledge when you're talking to your buyers and stuff. So we can see, let's remember, this is all 7 days. This is the last 7 days. So we can see that we have an increase in new active listings. I actually put my mouse over to highlight that specifically. Last week, we were right around 900, and that was 7 days of last week. It's 7 days of this week at over 1,000. So we're seeing a lot more properties on the market. But if you look at these numbers, these are actually down from last week. So price decreases, increases, back on market, all of them are slightly down than what they were last week. So what I'm thinking this means in the market, and help me out and correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a lot of listings coming on the market, but we're short on the buyers, which is mostly due to interest rates. That's kind of what we're thinking, is we need to convince those buyers to get out into the market and understand that, hey, there is still inventory here. Let's get you a good price on a home. Your interest rate may not be as amazing as you'd like it, but let's look at it on a 30-year average. Interest rates over a 30-year average are like 6.5%, something like that. So we're not sitting in a terrible spot right now if we look at it in a larger picture. But also to their point of refinancing, let's get you into a home that's a good price right now, that is an appropriate market value, and then we can deal with the financing of it later on. We can refinance that loan so that you have that lower interest rate, and we'll cut your monthly payment just a little bit later on. So kind of discussions to have with your buyers right now. This I found interesting as well. Expireds and holds are actually down from last week. That means somebody is getting on the phone and calling and picking up those listings. And yeah, it's Ed over there sending out referrals. Next slide. I did Pflugerville. I really like Pflugerville. I think it's a really cool picture of what Austin looks like in its growth. So right now we have 218 active listings, price ranging from $299,995 all the way up to $894,000. That's a pretty good median range for prices. You've got some affordability here right at $300,000, and that's kind of where these new builds are sitting, is like the low to mid 300s. So if you can get your sellers into kind of that price range and have that discussion, hey, we're competing with new homes, we're competing with all of this stuff, Pflugerville it's growing. And if we look down here at average home price, in 2022, we're actually above 2022 in average home price, which is pretty impressive. I mean, it's not losing any value. So if you bought your home in 2021, 2022, and you're looking to sell in Pflugerville, you're in a good spot, honestly. And average days on market, obviously, we're a little lower than we were last year, a lot higher than we were in 2022. Hopefully, we'll see that number kind of start changing as we get into a busier season and start to approach spring and summer and fall. Any questions for me? Stick around for expireds and withdrawn calls. I'm excited to do some role play.
All right.
Start this. This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk some,
That's really good stuff.
let's talk some training, guys. So, actually tomorrow we have, yeah, stage to show, or actually, price to sell. So what can staging do to increase the showability of a house, to show your potential buyers, hey, I can see myself living here. So Kath is telling you and showing you how simple arrangements, in terms of if it's just a rearranging of furniture, a little bit of decoration here and there, can make a huge difference in your listing and get it sold quicker. And then we have our monthly in-person NLT, which this time it will be on the 19th here at our office. And we will talk social media, everything in social media. So different platforms, different approaches, and what you can do. And it will be in person, not recorded. So come into the office, take advantage. We will have a discussion afterwards so that we can actually, talk about stuff that you specifically need and make it a little bit more approachable in social media terms. And as always, we have Monday morning breakthrough, and this time we talk about the DNA of entrepreneurship. It's the first part. So you are all 1099ers. So you are all entrepreneurs. So what is the essential of an entrepreneur to say, hey, I'm going out and make my business flourish? So we'll talk about the possibility of thinking what is important to you, solving creativity in a creativity way, your problems, and talk about it. And yeah, and I think we have one more, right?
Nope.
No.
All right, that's time of the meeting. Just sold, just listed, buyer needs, lease needs, who needs what? Raise your hand. Barry.
Yeah, I have a new listing in Taylor, 168 Onas, 2150 square feet. We've got it listed for $350. Really good deal. It's only a couple years old. 3 bedrooms, one's a full-size office, and then there's a bonus space, so you can actually have a second office in there. So
Cool.
And
Okay.
I'd like open house too this weekend.
All right. Anybody else? Hey, Miss.
Have that coming soon in Lago Vista. It's a single story stucco home, gorgeous backyard, private, with a pool, 575. So we're coming on the market at, but 3 bedrooms with an office. And it's really lovely. So if you have a buyer in Lago,
All right, Dana.
Buyer need is half-acre lots. They're kind of wanting towards Georgetown, not Sun City. Georgetown, Azure, Round Rock, half-acre minimum. They will be building.
Price point.
Just send me what you got.
Okay, all right.
They like Salado.
Hold on, neighbor. Hey.
I got a new buyer need, looking in North Austin or South Round Rock, right around the 400 mark. For 50 would be the max of the budget. Do not want to do new builds, so I need resale homes. Looking in the range of 2015 to 2023. Ideally 3-bed, 2-bath, pretty simple. They just don't like the old new build deal.
What price
but
point?
they want a newer home.
No, well, they like the style of either a new home or a very old home. And I'm currently in discussions with them right now of what that truly entails, taking on an older home like that. So we'll see where it lands. I want to show them some resale homes, 2015 to 2023, roughly like that kind of age range, before we go look at the 150-year-old home.
Yeah. All right, Ashley.
I have it coming soon in Round Rock it'll be less than 450. It's 2,700 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3 bathrooms. It's 2003, but it's updated. They just updated the kitchen, flooring too, and we're replacing the carpet upstairs. Big backyard with a deck on the 2nd story, so you get a really pretty view. And yeah, it'll be the first week of March. So I think it sounds like something your clients should see.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
I would love to.
Yeah, I'll send you the address.
What was the price point of that one?
They bought it for $450 in 2021, so $450 and under, I don't know. Somewhere $400 to $450, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anybody else? Yes.
I have a buyer need. They're looking for Leander to North Austin. 400 is the limit. They want a community with a pool, but they want it new, 5 years or less.
Okay.
Not brand new, but
Sounds similar to Hank's.
5 years or less.
Yeah, hold on.
5 years or less.
You got buyer reps on?
All right. You're good? Okay. Anybody else going once? Going twice? Seeing people brush their hair. All right. Have a great rest of your week and hang around for Hank's workshop. We'll see y'all later.